Yeah, I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, my lady
And it's hard to
cried.
prove it because, you know, it was 2003. Who had a camera phone or something like that where you just like, hang on, let me show you a picture of her real quick. You know what I mean?
Bro.
Yeah, I
Had
mean,
to
you
get
were
on,
talking
had
to
to get
her
on,
with a phone card, for goodness sake.
facts,
know.
bro. You know what? I
So,
never
I
thought
mean,
about that,
the
bro. We had to see each
technology
other.
just, I will never forget that. I will never forget that. Some of the worst nights of my life was you being frustrated because the card ran out of money. You know what I mean? And you be like, man, I don't know, we'll get to talk to my girl. Man, get in the car. Let's go get one of these goddamn cards. Let's go. Come
Hey,
on.
bro, them shits was so expensive, bro. They
Shoot.
were so expensive, bro.
I'm sitting there going in on a phone card for a girl I don't even talk to.
What's going on, family? Welcome to another episode of Room 518. It's your boy T-Rail, aka Big Country, and we also have Dant. Man, it is such an exciting time to be able to talk to you guys again. You know, we've missed you guys. We're trying to get back consistent. We've had a couple, little meltdowns and technical difficulties over the last few weeks, but we're gonna fix them and figure them out for sure.
Yeah.
But we're gonna get going. Dant, how was your weekend? How was your week, man?
Man, the week was pretty good. I told you I have some time coming to me, so I've had a little bit of freedom, which makes it even more sad that we couldn't share with y'all some of the man. We had such an episode for y'all, and we had some technical difficulty on it. I just want to mention it real quick. I hope it's not too much inside baseball, but yeah, we had a really good episode. It was so funny. I mean, you can't recreate that kind of, you know what I mean, back and forth we had going on. It was really spontaneous but fun. The topics were live. I mean, maybe someday we can just drop it, or we'll be, so you'll like watching our content so much that you won't care that there's this technical difficulty going on in there, and you'll just want to watch it anyway. But yeah, the week was good. Had a special episode of Quiet Loud this week. I had my first guest. I feel like the show went, thanks, man, I appreciate that. I feel like the show went really well. People are saying pretty good things about it so far. I wish they would put them in the comments section, and my text message is cool, but put it on the thing, man. Help the algorithm out, man. Help brother out. Put it in the put the thing in the thing and help me get the thing. All right. Yeah, but otherwise, man, things have been really good. How about you?
Oh man, my week has been it's been long. Anybody who knows me knows that I'm looking to become a police officer for the Cobb County, man. The county I grew up in. I want to be effective in my community. And so in doing so, I'm at the point now I did a psych evaluation. And now I'm getting ready to do the lie detector test. So things seem to be going up, man. They seem to be looking good. If you get to the point where you're doing the lie detector test, they like you a little bit. Now they're just trying to see if you're honest, So we'll see how that go. I ain't got anything to lie about, but then you get there, and then they ask you a question and you don't remember what the fuck. You like, woo, where that come from?
Yeah,
I don't remember that.
yeah.
So, because they already done hit
How
me
far
with
were
something.
y'all going back?
When
Wait.
that happened? Yeah,
Right.
So it's one of those
That's
situations, man. But yeah, bro, we did have a good episode. I think what I liked about the episode is that we kind of naturally felt we talked a lot about the war. We talked a lot about all the stuff coming on. But we were serious, but it carried just enough lightheartedness to get through it. We try to make sure this stuff is digestible. You know what I mean? We don't want the average person to feel like they can't listen to it because this is not something that they care about. So I thought that's what was cool, bro. I thought that's what was cool. I'm really like, it's kind of
it was a
bro.
very fine mix. It was a
Yes,
very
it
fine
was.
mix. It was a very fine mix. I agree, man. It was because I forgot we did have that really good kind of tight bit in the middle there where, I mean, you can tell too, man. And I got to say kudos to you. You have really been commanding these issues lately. To hear some of your thoughts, like your thoughts and ideas are fine, but I mean your kind of command of the issue of the day, like knowing what's on the ground right now, because there is so much. Nobody knows everything that's going on right now. So I'm not saying that you should feel bad, anybody, if you're not up on everything, you know? Like, I literally am purposefully trying to stay up on everything, and it's tough. But what I will say is on that episode last week, I was like, "Okay, look at my boy. Look at my boy. Let me kick back and just let him work," you know? I loved
Uh,
hearing it. I wish everybody could hear it. I mean, if we can get that part right, I mean, some of those sections, you don't need me anyway, so we could just clip some of that stuff because I think you really should. We should share that stuff, man. It was. I think everybody should hear it, and people need to be more in the know that way, you know. And I appreciated hearing it, to be honest.
I think it's funny that you say that because related to the bad episode, I think that's one thing that we really have to start doing as a culture, man. We grew up in a time where, first of all, our generation has seen so many different tragedies and different events for one generation. If you're a 40-year-old, man, you've lived through a Gulf War. We've lived through the
More than
bombing.
one,
Huh? You
more
said
than
what?
one Gulf War, but
Yeah.
yeah,
We've lived through quite a few. We've lived through 9/11. We've seen the stock market crash quite a few times. Way too many government shutdowns for our generation, for one
which is
generation of
ridiculous.
people. We've saw we've saw technology completely change. We talked about how much we're in between two different sectors of technology, man. We have lived through play outside, play on video game. We were literally both sides of that generation,
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
it's crazy
We will be
because
the last ones that remember what
yeah,
it was like
but
before technology, before the
yeah,
internet came
yeah,
in. We'll be the last ones.
and in that, the biggest thing is how do we stay aware of what's going on? And because you saying like, look, bro, I had to be intentional about making sure I'm having to be intentional because I'm on a show with the intellect. I'm on a show with the person that's definitely into politics. I want to be able to pull that in as much as we can to be able to bridge the gap between room 518 and also quiet loud. The biggest thing is when we were in college, we did it all the time because you were you were focused on it. I was growing into politics, and we were trying to really at that time we were trying to figure out what we voting for. We knew we wanted to vote
Yeah,
for Barack Obama, but it's like
yeah.
even wanting to vote for him after because by then we were seniors in college, but it was still kind of that place of I want to make sure that when I'm voting for him, I'm not just voting for him because he's a black man, which we
Right.
probably still would have. Let's be honest. But but
Yeah, yeah.
but at the same time, man, we really wanted to stand on the business when it came to dealing with people trying to trying to attack him. And I really feel like it's a lot of people that miss that responsibility as our culture, right? Like we miss that responsibility as there's a lot of people in our culture that just feels like "Ah, man, that shit don't matter," you know what I'm saying? I could be for who I wanna be for, like, no, it still matters. It still matters. If we get a prominent black figure in a position and they are a good black figure, we have to go to bat for them, you know? And so
I think
I
I
definitely
think
wanted to
there's
do
some
my
truth to
homework.
that. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But you have to do your
Um,
homework though. You have to do your
that but
homework.
there you go.
Because just because somebody was a legendary football player, you know what I'm saying? That made us all proud on the football field. But then he start coming out here talking about how cool werewolves were and all kinds of other crazy stuff. I'm a police officer. I ain't never had a badge ever in your life. I mean,
Bro,
weird
you
stuff
funny.
that would embarrass us all as a people. So you
Yeah,
can't just unconditionally support somebody, which is what you're saying, right? You have to do your
yeah,
homework.
yeah, you gotta
We
make
want
sure.
to, who's more proud than to throw their head in behind somebody who elevates our culture? You know what I mean? Of course, that's what we all want to do. But, I think a lot of us, and you rightly said, were wanted to be behind him, but we're wanting to make sure we were doing it for the right reasons. And I felt like I was kinda on the early edge of it just because we had seen him speak in that DNC in 2004, where he spoke at the Democratic National Convention, and I was like, that dude's going to be president someday, not knowing it would be 4 years later. So I still was like, Hillary been out there, John Kerry been out there, you know what I'm saying? I know these folks from up through high school,
Yeah,
kind of seeing them out there and knowing that they know what the business is. This guy is from a state senate. I love that speech he did, but I haven't seen any much on the record. And so yeah, I was listening really hard to everything he was saying, and I bought the books, you know what I'm saying? And I really kind of tried to connect with what he had going on, and I found that I was satisfied.
bro, we listened to that in the room, in the dorm room, in room
We did.
518. We both sat down, was just like, ooh, like that. The
We were
gravity
in
of
our
what he.
apartment.
We were in the apartment then.
Yeah, we were sitting in the living room. Better
Okay,
apartment
okay,
at that
okay,
point.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I
But you're
definitely
right. We
remember.
were sitting and watching it, but we were in the living room.
Okay, I remember watching it, and I remember saying, I remember like pausing because I'm like, yo, just the way that he speaks is impressive. His
Yeah.
ability to like know when to pause, slow down,
Work in the
oh,
room. This kind of.
bro,
I had never
bro,
seen anybody do that either.
not
And
been
what it
done
turned
since.
out that it what it the people try to do it, it's not as smooth as how he
No,
does it,
no.
because he has these two teleprompters now. Normally a person would have it right out front, so you're doing this thing where you're reading straight down and you're stopping to, what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah.
He had the prompters here, so he was reading from left to right, so he was naturally. But that's difficult though, because the thing is constantly moving and you're having to keep reading, catch it in the same spot where it was, you know what I'm saying? So that's really a skill. And to do it and do it so fluidly, you also have to know the speech like the back of your hand too. You know what I mean? And so even if something were to happen, you'd still be on beat and connecting and catching up with the next prompter. So it's very, I was very impressed by his entire pack, the whole skill set. I was gonna
Yo,
say package, and I felt like that just wasn't gonna come off right.
and that's what made our last episode so good, man, because we're really like reflecting on how like shitty. Sorry, mom. How not how shitty, but how like how raunchy. How raunchy is a better word, bro. Come on, man. Don't do me like that. How raunchy our government
How
is
do
right
you
now.
say the word trying not to say the word?
I mean, I was, you know how we do. Don't you
Yeah.
go cuss. Okay, I won't say fuck. But
That is, yeah,
oh, bro, that
oh
is
my
funny.
gosh.
But
That
no,
is
that's the thing though. This past episode, that's what made it so dope, bro. Is the fact that we were kind of like leaning on all of the things because, you know, I don't know how many of our people, the people that the listeners that we carry right now, understand how big of a situation, how big of a deal it was that the United Nations were here in New York, in our state, in our country, and 127 countries voted that the African slave trade was the biggest
all
atrocity
right.
of human trade and human exploitation
Almost
in
everybody.
history. But then we have three countries that did. Now, even in those three countries, though, what we didn't talk about last episode is that it was about 52 or 54 countries that chose to abstain from voting either way. Now,
Mhm.
if you don't vote with, then you are implicit. You know, understand if you don't stand, I think everybody needs to understand if you don't stand for what you really believe in and you decide to be quiet, then you are just as implicit as the people that stands that stand on the wrong side of it. Because
Yeah.
you have the chance to either save a life or you can let a
Yeah.
person drown. If you stand there and you let
Yeah,
a person
your
drown,
absence, I agree. Your absence, your
so
inaction is complicity. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
I agree.
exactly. So, I think in that situation, in that sense, I wouldn't I didn't like that part, but the fact is it ended up being voted that that was one of the biggest atrocities in human history. And the United States, Argentina, and Israel did not. go for that. So though that we lost that episode, we definitely wanted to bring that up. We've been talking about it. The episode was very delayed, so it seems for some reason that I was like 5 seconds in front of that the whole time. It's like he'd be
Yeah,
talking
that's
about something, and
weird.
I'm on to something else in the conversation. It's crazy. But
So annoying. You guys would hate it. You would have hated it. I
oh,
hated
that's
it.
it was hard to listen
Yeah.
to, bro.
It
Oh,
was hard to listen to, and so many great points were made, as I said earlier. So many great points were made, but I guess we shouldn't linger on that too much. We'll probably figure it out, and
no,
get that released at some point as put some clips out there at the very least. So don't worry, guys. Don't worry.
don't
Don't worry.
worry
It's all
yourself.
good.
Don't worry yourself, as
Yeah.
my boy always say. I got a
Yeah,
homeboy.
and you know what? A lot of the stuff that we said on the war, I mean, we'll have another crack at it. This thing is not over. In fact, the more that this president tries to impress upon us that it's over or gonna be over soon, the more worried I become. Because if you think about it, uh, his messaging on this war is as close as it was to COVID. You know, keep the numbers low, don't talk too much about what's going on there. Uh, and everything will just kind of go away. It'll just be over. The Strait of Hormuz will open itself back up. Uh, this thing will be over. Watch after Easter, it'll just be in the rearview mirror. You know what I'm saying? Like he's
Hey,
saying stuff like that. The same kind of stuff he was saying during COVID, and remember he got caught on the hot mic saying, "Of course I was playing it down. I always play it down." You know what I'm saying? So knowing that the situation is worse, but willfully lying to people about where we actually are. You know what I mean? So every time he comes out and suggests that we're doing well, we'll win this war, we'll be out in a week or two. By the way, Europe, if y'all could really kick in at some point and help us out. I mean, we'll need y'all help though, but if you could kick in and help us out. You know what? We don't get our stuff out the straight anyway. You're on your own. You know what I mean?
we
We
could use
broke
your
it.
help. We could use your help. But we really don't need your help. Oh, you a pussy.
Right.
No.
We
When you
broke
come
it,
over here, you a sucker.
but
But
we want y'all to fix it. That is
oh
so crazy. Like this dude,
no.
man, we're gonna be all by ourselves, man. We're gonna be all by ourselves. But
But we
you
saw,
know,
bro. The common sense of this situation is we saw the writing on this wall in 2016. What's in the writing on this wall? We saw it in 2020. We literally begged for them not to help put this on the wall. Like, so it is what it is. I will say
absolutely.
this though, bro. I appreciated listening to the Quiet Loud last night. Y'all had a great episode. Guys, if you did not see
Man,
the Quiet Loud special edition,
appreciate
go
that,
back
man.
and watch
Appreciate it.
that. It was about an hour and
Thanks.
32 minutes, man, of
It
what
was
I mean, I watched it. You know what I'm saying? I watched
yeah, I
um
appreciate it, man.
yeah, it was great. It was great commentary, and I could tell that it was good because of the comments that you're getting on your shorts. It's a lot of people. It's spicy. It's a lot of
It's
people.
a little spicy.
People don't agree with
Yeah,
everything
it
you say. You know what I
it's a little
mean?
spicy, which lets me feel like we're on the right track. You'll get the really supportive ones where people come out, keep going. No, that's what we want. And then you get the ones who don't address the facts of what you said. They just pick something and talk about that thing.
Facts,
So it's like, well, what
facts.
is it that you're even talking about? This was about that. But what about this thing? I'm like, what about it? We're talking about this. You know what I mean? If you want to
Bruh.
address that, we can do that, but we're not doing, you're coming in here to rake muck around, and we're not doing that in this space. Like I tell people like that all the time. You can come here and make an intelligible, respectful comment about just about anything. You can differ from me, you can outright disagree, but when you come in here and start talking that nonsense, that's not happening here.
Bro, that's what was
I'm
going
going,
on, bro. That's what be happening,
yeah,
bro. And they always say
it
something that
does.
has no factual basis. It's just like you just
Nothing to
talking to
do with
talk. Oh, bro, I heard
had to
somebody
get a
say
word in here. Just had
somebody
to get a
said the
word.
other day, they said, Obama was corrupt too. I said, okay, give me some examples. Like, I don't want to call you a lie. Just give me some examples, and then we can
Yeah,
see
you
who
coming in here
was
with this
corrupt or
nonsense.
more. Because even if you call him corrupt, was he more corrupt or less corrupt? where did he fall in that category of corrupt? Because you could call a person corrupt for telling you one lie. You know what I'm
On
saying?
your spectrum of corruption, where does he where does
What's
he
he at?
fall? Oh, over here you have Donald Trump being the very worst. One
Exactly.
trillion and 10% bad. Where
He's
is he?
he's 1% is what you're saying out of a billion
Right.
percent. Okay, all right,
If he
all right.
had to be, you know, and of course, every president, you're making decisions on policy and you know, enforcing laws and whatever, and it's for hundreds of millions of people. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You're gonna take some
exactly.
people off. That is the nature of the game. If you are a supervisor of 20 people, 8 of them don't like something you said yesterday.
There you go.
You know what
There
I'm
you
saying? Like,
It's a lot of times
that
that
is just how it goes,
you know what, we don't
you
like to
know?
highlight the fact that it's a lot of times that when you're trying to make a lot of people happy, like, to make the information digestible, sometimes it feels like a lie to a couple of those people. You know, you ain't
Mhm,
gotta be lying, it just feels like that to a person who didn't
mhm.
wanna hear it the way that you gave it in the first place. We have to be honest about that, but I ain't gonna dig into that anymore, bro. I really wanted to get into we Easter weekend and now, man, so I really wanted to get
That's right,
into,
that's right.
you know, what you got going on, first of all. Are you doing anything with your family?
Uh, well, we're not, you know, we're not with the family writ large. We are, you know, just me, Kelly, and the kid.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
we will, you know, we're gonna have a nice dinner, and we're gonna, you know, spend time together as we do. We may do some church. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. Hey, don't come
Pressure
at me,
on
folks. Don't
I'm putting
come
that
at me.
pressure on 'em, putting that pressure on 'em.
Right? Yeah, yeah.
You better go
Don't
see
come at me.
Drewski,
But
man. You better go see Drewski.
so you know, but we may or may not. I don't know. I know we're gonna have a nice dinner, a nice time together as we always do. But you know, I don't know. What's y'all's plans? Do y'all have big plans? You know,
Man, so we're having a big it's supposed to rain here, bro. Did you know that? It's supposed to rain.
it's always either 1,000 degrees or it's raining on
But see,
Easter
not normally
weekend
on
down
Easter,
there.
we normally get rain on the 4th of July in Georgia. You know what I'm saying? Like it rains almost every fourth. But
That's
usually
true. Remember the summer band camp parade always used to be raining. You'd be like, it's
always,
raining again, not this mug. Yeah.
but and it still be hot, right? Don't even the rain
Still
don't
be,
even
oh
be
my
it
gosh,
don't even be
steam
like,
all over the
oh, that's what hey bro. Anybody who's from Georgia know, bro, like if you were in the band or played football or any sport that was in the middle, like you train in the summer, it'll be
mm,
raining and it would not be real. It is no type of relief. It's raining. Like, dude,
no,
this shit
no,
hot.
yep,
It's
yep.
steaming. Now it's steaming.
You
Now it's
can't even breathe. Now you can't breathe it because this is
yeah,
just straight steam coming up. Yeah,
bro.
yeah. You come out, boy, and is now it's texturally is just bad. It's squishy, it's hot
Oh,
and humid, and everything is wet to the
sticky.
touch now. You
Oh
know
my
what I mean? It's just everything about it is just the worst. It doesn't cool you off. You're right. It
no, it
doesn't
doesn't,
not one of
bro.
those midsummer, it's been hot for the last 8 days kind of thing, and then it rains real
No,
hard.
it
Yeah,
just
it's just a soupy mess out there. Now you got to go out here and stand still where you know all the wet bugs jumping around now. That's just oh okay. You take me to a bad place.
bro, it's you
Yeah,
know what this gives me? This gives me summer camp Coca-Cola band vibes, bro. When we used to
yeah,
have
oh yeah,
yeah, Clark Atlanta, and then you go under the little thing to practice. You hear everybody having sex
yeah,
under different
yeah.
parts of the stadium while it's
Hmm.
raining outside. Then as soon as the
We
rain
spent a
stops,
lot of time there for people that didn't go to Clark Atlanta.
you know what? For real, bro. I knew their band room. I knew where everything was on that campus,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, because we did summer band camps there pretty much, which most people don't know. I was talking to my wife Kelly about it, who also was in a band in high school in an Atlanta area band.
Yeah,
And so our experiences weren't one to one is what I'm saying. Like somebody who was in our same county might have had a more similar experience to what
very
we
true.
had in the band, but she didn't go to school in our county. Uh but anyway, um explained in summer band camp because I think she was there down at the Clark thing, but I was telling her like we got there before everybody. we actually was there working on our first 2 shows of the season before summer camp with the Atlanta summer band had even started. You remember that? We would get to the
Bro,
school early, take the buses down to
we
Clark,
did. We did.
practice our 2 field shows on their field, and then we would stop once the other kids started showing up.
Oh,
You
they
know,
would
we were
start teaching us
literally
our,
there.
formations, bro. We might not have
Right.
done a whole lot, but we'll be learning the formations.
Yeah,
And if
we'd
I
be
remember
learning,
one
getting the
year we used some of the
yeah.
songs from, like Coca-Cola Band, like
We
it's
always did. We always did. Cause the dude from I think it was Lindsey Sargent, he was the arranger at FAM, used
okay,
to
okay,
write
yeah.
that music. And so we would just keep it. Yeah, the first show's drill was the drill music from
Oh,
the Atlanta Summer Band. Yeah, the
that was a
Coca-Cola
tough
Band.
time. That was like doing tour days all the time. I
It
remember
was. It absolutely was.
I remember the first band camp I went to because I'm a big guy, so I was supposed to play football, and I messed up my leg, so I didn't. And I go to summer band camp. My mom didn't see me the whole week. Like when I say she didn't see me the whole week, she didn't see me from that Sunday night till the 4th of July parade. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah. Mhm.
So after the parade, they come meet you at the end of the parade, come pick you up.
Right, yeah.
My mama walked right past me, bro. I'm
How's
saying,
that?
"Mama, mama, mama." But that just tells you just how black we were getting at those camps,
Cause
bro. Bro,
everybody was so dark.
bro, I was
Oh man,
so
I
dark.
was so dark, bro.
I was dark,
I
bro.
feel like I can just absorb that sun. I just get darker and darker and
Bro,
darker.
hey man,
My
I
mom
was
used to be like, "Why are you so black?"
yeah, bro. You know what? And black people are racist when it comes to skin color. I will say, bro. Black people are like, "Who the fuck is you? Who is you?" Like, man, I'm your son. My mama walked right past me, like she was like, "Why is this boy calling my name?" You know what I'm saying? I had to walk up on her.
He's big. He was big too.
Like, I had to grab my mama, like, really walk up on her. But I will say, bro, in that time, bro, we was out there so much, man. We were getting crispy, man. I'm
Yeah,
sorry, we done
that's so
jumped
true.
off of the Easter subject, but I
Yeah,
just had to talk
yeah,
about that because that was crazy back then, though, for real. But
was.
no, man. So I guess my point was, I'm not going to church on Easter. I'm actually going to be here at the house cooking. But I just, do you remember how it was? Because when we was kids, bro, I remember when the clothing stores used to be lit Easter weekend, bro. You had to get the haircut. Like, church traditionally has definitely changed over the years, bro, and I don't know if
Yeah,
that's a good thing or a bad thing, but
yeah,
it has
yeah.
changed.
Do people still do the suit, the dress, the
I I think if you go to church, I think there are people like, I think if I were to go to my church on Sunday, I would see a lot of people like that. I remember, my mom and my dad, they're like faithful church members. So they go to church every week. They're gonna make sure they're there. They go to Bible study. They do like clothing ministry on Wednesdays and feed the hungry. So they always at church, man. And so
yeah,
now
that's
they
their
kind of
community.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And they're kind of at the point now where they don't necessarily go on Easter all the time or New Year's because they like those all the people that don't ever come to church come on those days. I'm like, well, damn, I felt like I was gonna go, but now I don't want to go because I don't want to feel like all the people
Yeah,
that.
cause they looking at y'all like, yeah, you weren't here last week, was you? You coming
Thanks.
next week? You know, this
Yeah,
is serious. He gonna talk about the part 3 gonna be next week. You
for
coming
real.
next week? You coming for the conclusion?
Hey, thanks.
You like, yeah,
This is the part of
yeah.
this is the part where he talk about Jesus at the Garden of Gethsemane. You got to come to get the ending. The ending
Right,
ain't
right.
coming this week. You
You're
got to
not
hear
gonna
the
get it
whole
all
thing.
this week.
Oh, facts, bro, man. But we used to go to the store, man. You know what? I will say, when you younger, I didn't realize like how privileged I was, bro. Because my mom made sure, like my initial presentation to an introduction to wearing suits was because of Easter. You know what
Was
I'm
that
saying? It'd
right?
be the
Yeah,
first
yeah, for
time that
sure.
you
Yeah.
put on a nice suit, and
Mhm.
like I remember going into Men's Warehouse over there, across from South DeKalb Mall now, man. Right there.
Yeah. Okay.
Used to be next to the music store, Century Music.
Yeah.
Or was that
So
Century
yeah.
Music? Um,
Not that one wasn't Century Music. That
that
one
was
was I know what you're
Tucker.
talking about though.
Yeah,
Huh?
right there though, right there.
Yeah. I know
We'll
you're
go
talking
in
about.
there. This suit size you up for suits, bro. And I always thought that was super cool back then, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just that whole little experience, bro. Cause it was like, okay, we're gonna go pick out your suit, then we're gonna go, man, we'll be shopping all day, bro.
And I
Like,
thought it was a colossal waste of time. I mean, you thought it was cool. I used to be like, why are we still doing this?
bro, but see,
Why are we still here? It's been
you
four
know,
hours of this. Can we go home? I'm hungry.
but he used to get on your mama nerves, boy.
I just didn't say anything. I
Oh,
just
you
didn't say anything. You just be quiet.
now I
Quiet
will
loud
say,
didn't come from nowhere. I would just you just don't say anything. I'm
but
just here.
today,
I wasn't enjoying it at all, but I wasn't gonna complain though. I
nah,
just
bro. I
stood
was
around.
today now, bro. I'd be like, look, we got everything we need to go. Like, I don't want to be in this, bro. I hate being in crowds, bro. I hate it so
Man,
much.
it's my worst.
It's physically draining. Am I the only person that thinks that being in a crowd is
No,
physically draining? Like, it's like, dude,
no.
why, why is this, why is this touching my soul like this, dude? Like, why do I feel like this?
You know what? Because now you're in a point in your life where you want to expend the energy where you want to expend it at. And some of these places aren't worth your energy at this point. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it feels ridiculous to be there. Like I could be doing anything else than being here. I don't want to be here shoulder to shoulder with you guys. There's nothing wrong with you people. I just would prefer to spend the time with the people I prefer to be with. So I totally get it. I never was one that, liked being amongst the crowd ever, so
You know what?
I'm gonna be happy to be at the house.
That's a hard, that's a hard statement because as kids, bro, we was always in crowds. From college to from high school to
Yeah.
college, bro, we was always in
I
crowds.
didn't like any of them. Yeah, I didn't like any of it. None of it. Most of it is because it was, friends that were going places and would be like, "Hey, we're going to such and such." And I can't say no every time.
Okay, so
I
there's gonna
know
be some
that.
people that calls him a liar on this episode, guys. I think that
Ooh,
Dumasani, Asher, Edward, there's gonna be a whole bunch of people that calls Dan a
they're not
liar.
gonna call me a liar on that. They're gonna be like, "That didn't never want to go nowhere." Every time you ask where you want to, we're going to such and such. Because I'm gonna name check somebody. You know Raimi. You know Raimi?
Yeah, right. I know, right?
Yeah. Raimi, every time he would say, "Hey, a bunch of us are going to do such and such," after a while, he would be like, "And you better not ask me who all gonna be there," because that's the first thing I would
Bro,
always say
okay. Because
is,
even in college, you still did that same thing, bro. And I think that
"Yeah,
was truth. You know what? You're right though, because even getting you to come meet Kelly was like, I had to like push you out the door, like, no, we're going to the mall, bro. Like,
right."
and that's his wife now, and he was, bro. That was a tough.
It was going someplace and being around a bunch of folks. I was intrigued by the idea. I was just like, well, can't I bump into her somewhere around here? Like we have to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you were.
I don't know. I think about all the different steps. Now we gotta do this. We gotta go downstairs. We gotta get in the car. We have to drive all the way there. We walk past all these people. We got to go in the mall. We got to. What if we don't see the person? Or where are they supposed to even be at? Do we got to mill around until we get like I could be over here? You know what I mean? I think about all of the stuff. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Uh, so I just prefer to be in my own space. I always did.
You have.
And the thing is I typically will warm up and have a decent enough time and be glad that I went. You know what I mean?
No,
Uh,
that's true. That's true.
but
You have always started off in that place of I don't know. Whereas I probably started off a little like, let's go, and then I'd be ready to go.
yeah,
Be like, bro,
yeah.
it's time to go. Like
Right. Yeah,
I'm
I'm just warming up and you ready to go. Yeah.
yeah, that's happened quite a few
So,
times, bro, for sure.
yeah.
For sure. Well, I'm kinda like, I'm ready to go, bro. and I'm
Like,
good.
where were
Like,
you when I was ready to go the first 30, 45 minutes I've been sitting over here, you
you know,
know? And
but you know what?
phones didn't do nothing back then, so you just sitting around playing Snake, waiting on.
But see, to be fair, I had a girlfriend. So when we would go somewhere, like when it got to too long, I'm kind of like, bro, I'm not finna pull one of these chicks because I'm not trying to talk to one of them. I just wanted to come have a little fun. It's time to go. But truth of the matter is, things don't heat up until a little time goes by, and you would be cool with that. So it was definitely that was definitely a big difference, man. That was definitely a big difference. It's crazy. I remember when we were in college. I don't remember the chick name, bro, but she swore up and down I liked her, and I was like, she was a big chick, and I was like, "Baby girl,
I think I know who you're
you're
talking about.
crazy." I ain't gonna call out, but I used to show you crazy.
Yeah, I don't think there's no need. I think I know who you're talking about.
You probably
Yeah,
do, bro, because we was roommates.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But I
yeah,
remember
yeah, yeah.
saying, "Does she know that I have the ability to?" You know what I'm saying? Like, first of
Right,
all,
right.
like,
Yeah, I know you're not intending to say it like this, so I know you're trying to find the right way to say it.
yeah,
Yeah,
bro.
no, 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 because you had. Okay, here's what I'll say to get at what I think he's getting at. His girlfriend at the time. Okay, Thorell is. I guess he would be classified. What are you like, big and tall? I call him a giant. He's a
Yeah,
giant to
I
me.
am.
You
I
know.
am.
So, but his girlfriend at the time was not a giant. She was very much not a giant. She was very much a
Fun
small
size,
person.
they would say. Fun size, they would say.
Yeah,
She was
and
like
so
5 foot, 5'2", maybe.
yeah, but when we were in college though, Thorell basically had the epitome of my girlfriend goes to a different school. No, she go to the other school. So that's what it sounded like to people who actually didn't know that, had met the girl and knew that there was an actual girl. To some people, it's like, she goes to another school, huh? Oh, she's in a different country.
It was like this.
Different country?
Yes, it
You know
was,
what I
bro.
mean?
It's like this
No,
slide,
I mean it
man.
sounded ridiculously wild. Oh yeah, my girlfriend, she live in Italy. You know what I mean? She live in Italy. Everybody be
She
like,
a model. She a model. She in Italy. Niggas used to be
right.
like, this nigga lying. You know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I remember being on a few occasions where somebody be like, you taught this girlfriend before? And I'm like, yes, I have. Yeah, I actually knew her. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I know who she is. Yeah, she's an actual person. Yeah,
They used to
yeah.
definitely think like, bro, he got an imaginary girlfriend. He really don't mess with us like that, huh?
Either
That-
that or they thought you were, lying about what, she actually looked like.
That's tough, bro. Well,
Yeah.
cause I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, my lady
And it's hard
fine.
to prove it because, it was 2003. Who had a camera phone or something like that where you just like, hang on, let me show you a picture of her real quick. You know what I mean?
Bro.
I mean, you were talking
Have
to
to get
her
on
with a phone card, for goodness sake, you
facts,
know?
bro. You know what? I
So,
never
I
thought
mean,
about that,
the
bro. We had to see each
technology
other.
just I will never forget that. I will never forget that. Some of the worst nights of my life was you being frustrated because the card ran out of money. You know what I mean? And you be like, man, I don't never get to talk to my girl. No, no, man, get in the car. Let's go get one of these goddamn cards. Let's go. Come
Hey,
on.
bro, them shits was so expensive, bro. They
Shoot.
were so expensive,
I'm
bro. I
sitting there
think,
going in on a phone call for a girl I don't even talk to. Just
bro.
so,
Oh my
just so
god,
my
because
homeboy can.
it was still like after 9 free minutes on cell phones back then too. Like, that's crazy, bro. That like really dates us, dog. Because it ain't been free.
Yes, man.
Phones been unlimited for like the last 20, almost 20 years now, bro. That's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
That's
Text
crazy.
messages cost per message, if you didn't have that free
Thanks.
plan. Yeah, everything. Kids, and that's what I mean by my earlier statement that we will be the last people that remember. We're the last generation who remembers what life was before all this. We didn't have any of this stuff when we were kids, and we have gradually, had this technology implemented on us, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And so we are getting to see it, whereas these kids are growing up in a world where it already exists. So they don't know any different, you know. Because I remember at first, my kid, P would be like, "Oh, why did y'all use this stuff?" You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, why don't you just play the Blu-rays? Are y'all looking at tapes? And I'm like, because there was no Blu-ray.
We couldn't
This
just
wasn't
skip
this
what
wasn't
we
a
wanted
thing.
to see. You had to rewind and go all the way to the beginning.
Right. Yeah, this was the medium of the day. This is what we had at the time. There was no digital. The idea of digital was not what we know it is to be now. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? And so I think he is now really amazed with old school tech and the way things used to be. When he was a kid though, he'd always be like, uh, and it was the way he phrased it, because we were 80s babies and we grew up in the 90s and this and that. And he would always be like, "So in the 19s, did y'all have uh whatever?" And I'm like, "The 19s?"
Shit.
Like, bro, it was the 90s. I wasn't like living in like 1905. It was the 90s,
That
not the
man,
19s. The
my
19s made
son.
me sound 100 years old. Don't
Facts.
say
Oh my God. That
the
is
19s. He would
oh,
always say that.
oh
Yeah, in
shit.
the 19s, did you guys have did y'all have this
Sh
kind of stuff in the 19s? I'd be like, it
but
was
you
the
know what though?
90s. The 90s.
Imma tell you what's really funny, bro. We are so much we put more than technology, bro, just as a generation of parents who've grown to be better, bro. We make more stuff available in our house for our kids than our kid. Man, I remember my son came over to my house, bro. He came over to my house when I had first separated from my I ain't bro, I'm freshly separated. I ain't had nothing in my pantry or nothing like that. My son opened up the pantry and giggled. He giggled. He was like, like that. He was like, and so I came over to the door and said, "Well, what you giggling for?" My son say, "Dad, come look at
You
this."
broke.
He brought me over to the pantry. She was about four. He was like 5 years old, bro. This shit is hilarious. He brought me over to the pantry. He said, "Look at this, Dad." He said, "Ain't no food in here." I was like, "Nigga, get out my pantry." It's like, dude, we
But
grew
go
up like
ahead.
we grew up with nothing really in this pantries, bro. That wasn't the way we
He
grew up.
said
We had
he said,
canned
"Boy,
goods.
go ahead and don't tell your mama."
Oh,
Yeah,
bro.
you
I
gonna
mean,
run home. Dad, they have no food in his cabinet.
but you know what though?
Wasn't
I
none of
always
that.
I always took him to get something. Or I would cook for him, but I definitely
I'm
I mean,
sure.
and to be truthful with you, man, let's be honest, man. That's more of the woman's thing, bro. If you leave it up to a man, we will forget about all that stuff. We will not remember to go when we go to the store to buy the extra stuff that makes the pantry look fluffy. I call it fluffy. It ain't really fluffy, but
Mhm,
you know what I'm
mhm.
saying? Like the to make it look full and that should just look
Yeah,
attractive, bro. Like
it
it's not
does, man. Hey,
yeah,
hey, nothing makes you feel more, wealthy or rich than when you open up a pantry and you like, at the very least, we got food in this mug. You feel
facts,
like
bro.
you got just for a second, y'all got everything taken care of. You know what I'm saying? That's like nothing's falling down around us. There's food in every place I look. It's the freezer, the refrigerator, the pantries, the cabinets. And I'm like, okay, and you're absolutely right. It would be a little bit more barren if that was something I had to do. Now I will admit, there's times where if I'm at the store or something and I'll say, how many of these do we normally have? I'll grab a couple extra. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I'm not purposefully doing that when I routinely go in. But then again, I don't really do the grocery shopping. So and I partly because I think, Kelly likes doing it. That's like her time and look, don't come at me. She actually likes doing it. So she don't like it because I say like doing it. She likes doing it. I think it's kind of her time to be, out of the house and not have to think about any other thing except for doing this.
I'm gonna be
You know
honest,
what I
bro.
mean?
I
So
salute
I
Kelly.
think yeah,
I salute
no, she
Kelly for
keeps
as
a,
much
a
of a
fantastic home
man, for as much of a professional as she is in her field, bro, she's definitely a homemaker, bro. You feel it
for
in your
sure.
house, bro. You feel it.
Yeah.
Like Kelly gives me such oh. She reminds me so much of she reminds me of the old school wife, so to speak, you know what I'm saying? She still has a
I
great
understand what you're
warm
saying.
warm feeling of about herself, bro, and I'm like, "Dude, that's what we missing, bro." Like, we're missing that
Yeah.
as a generation, like, all these
You know
fast.
the weird thing, like, no, it's not a weird thing, but to your point, you know, when I come home and that's gonna sound when I come home, uh, after when I get off work, I walk into the house. The first thing that happens, she walks up to me, she gives me a hug and a kiss. This is yeah, every time I come home, you know,
That
uh,
is something to talk
yeah,
about.
yeah. So, I mean,
Oh,
and it's just the way that it is. You know what I mean? I guess I don't know if I take it for granted. I think I probably do because it happens all the time. But I am definitely aware of it. You know, if for some reason she's not downstairs where she normally is when I walk in, I kind of do go to wherever she is. You know what I'm saying?
and she give you a hug
Uh,
and a kiss every time?
yeah, yeah, yeah. So when I come home, like say for
That's
instance,
cool.
I came home last week, the day before my last day of work, I came home and she wasn't downstairs, she was upstairs. So yeah, I didn't put anything down. I didn't take off my book bag or anything like that. I just was like, okay, she's not in the kitchen. So I walked upstairs, and then she had just got done telling the kids something and she turned right around and was like, you know, so there it was, and then I went and put my stuff
Bro, do
down.
you know how big that bro, look, let me tell you something, bro. If don't nothing else ever touch my heart from something that you say, that just did, bro. That
Oh,
just
is that
did.
right?
Yeah, bro. I don't get that
How
shit.
so?
I ain't gonna lie. I don't get that. I get cold shoulder, boy. She come in the house, grab the baby. Baby.
Okay. Okay. Now I get that. I get
Nah, I
that
ain't saying nothing
because
wrong
you
with it, bro.
guys, right. I know. I totally get that. I bet you that wasn't always the case until, the baby showed up and y'all have a really unique situation going on as well. But yeah, I think I would be that way too. I was kind of like that. Let's say when Preston was still the age of your daughter. I would come home, I'm taking off whatever shirt and stuff I had. I'm washing my hands. You know what I'm saying? Come here. I'm still doing I'm leaning in. Hey, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm taking the kid, and that was literally what it was. It was still the same hug and kiss thing back then, but when it was, but then even she was kind of like, all right, you know what I'm saying?
Been with
Because
him
she's
all
had
day.
him
Yeah,
all that time. And so
yeah.
I'm kind of like, I want this day off of me and I want him. And she's like, you know what I'm saying? I had him all day, so it's a happy switch, giving, hugging, the kiss, and then I take him. And I think that could just a lot of that be just I just been thinking about her all day. Move out my way. You
Nah,
know what I'm saying?
I mean, she's definitely a great mom, man. My lady is not
Yeah.
the same type of affectionate. My lady's a strong woman. Type A personality, leader in her job
Okay.
type deal.
Hmm.
I just don't think that's her style. You know what I mean? And me saying that, didn't stop me from falling in love with her, you know what I'm saying?
Mm.
But I will say I appreciate seeing that because I think that we as a culture needs to see more of that. We
Mm.
need to see that you can have a balance of both. Now,
Hmm.
my relationship works because I feel like it also gives my daughter an opportunity to see she gets to see her mom as a strong black woman. She also gets to see the woman that I'm with now as a strong black woman who's a professional. Both of them are professionals, both of them are successful, so my daughter gets to see both of those things. She gets to see my lady now as more of a homemaker in the sense that my lady can cook real good, she can bake, she can do whatever. And when it comes to the house and whatever she wants to do in the kitchen, she dope at it, like restaurant quality food, like to the point that I'm just like, damn, dude, it's hard to compete. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but at the same time, regular general affection has never really been her thing, right?
Hmm.
I've watched her become more affectionate while becoming a mother. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
so
Yeah. Yeah.
it's crazy to even watch her be the way that she is now. Because, man, my lady wouldn't cry about nothing, bro. She went emotional, bro. And all of a sudden, one day she was crying and pouting. I'm just like, what's wrong with you? Like, I'm confused. And I'm realizing,
Hmm.
bro, it's these, she done had a baby and things have changed for her as far as her
Hmm.
perspective. I will say two different totally different perspectives, but both of them are needed, and I don't think there's enough of either, honestly. We're not seeing enough women who are professionals who still know how to be homemakers in general, right now, and I don't think that they can. I think that, we have so many single parent situations going on that
Okay.
those examples don't get to be seen like that, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay.
we miss those examples, and that's so in speaking about that, it's like kinda how do we address that, man? But actually, I think that's something we need to talk about in this next episode that we're gonna have because
Yeah,
we
that's a good one because yeah, let's get into it in the next one because I saw something recently and then I shared that with we shared it, but we didn't really talk about it.
yeah,
So maybe because we're kind of close to that right now. Yeah, let's talk about it in the next episode and we can really get into that. Yeah, that's something we can get into. But I appreciate you saying all the things you said about Kelly. I mean, I think everything that you thought about her to introduce me to her in the beginning was all true. It rang all true. I mean, it's been at this point, it's been more than 20 years since she first introduced me to her, and we've been married for more than 15. So,
you're right, bro. It has been more than 20
yeah,
years. Oh my god, bro.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So, some stuff I think is just, you know, meant to happen like it happens. But yeah, let's talk about it in the next thing because I do have some thoughts on what roles should be or you know do they have to be what they were, can they be evolved, is there traditional male roles and female roles, should there be, you know
Man, we're
and
gonna get into it. I tell you what, we're gonna get into that, man. We're gonna wrap this one up, family. We try to keep these conversations not too long, but we do appreciate you guys for coming to room 518. We always say, like, comment, share, and subscribe. You know the rules. You can come in, sit down, have a conversation with us. You know what we're coming to do. We're coming to push the conversation forward so we can get the culture where it needs to be and make sure we get it there on time.
on time.
So we appreciate you guys, man. Y'all take care, and we'll be seeing y'all for the next episode where we're gonna discuss this whole parenting dynamic, man. Y'all gonna enjoy this episode, man. We look forward to seeing y'all.
All right, peace.
Peace.